Welcome everybody back to the Red Hawk Sports Network. Here we are on beautiful Montclair State campus down here at Panzer Athletic Center. It's a little chilly, but that's not stopping the fans from both teams getting on in here and making sure that they are a part of the top quality action that is about to commence on this very court. Our own Professor Stacy Gitlin wanted to make sure that she's in the building. I'm Brandon Marazzo. He's Vincent Pacone. And today on the slate, we got for you the men's basketball team set to defend home court one more time this season against Kean University, but it's going to be against different stakes. Of course, it is NJAC playoff time, and that only means one thing: win or go home. Vin, what a journey it's been. What a game right before we even got here, as the Red Hawks and Kean have been getting after both of them, taking wins their last time out just this last Saturday against the number 1 and 2 seeds in the NJAC playoffs. Walk us through that Rowan game.
Well, Montclair had to face off, as Maz just said, Rowan, the number 1 seed in the NJAC, and they walked out of here wearing the NJAC regular season champs. But it did not speak to how the game went. Although, yes, Montclair was down 50-37 going into the half. The Red Hawks, as we know, they're a second half team, and we may see that today. So watch the game, the entire game, because this team is second half made. They come back, they tie it up. We go into OT, not 1, but 2 overtimes. We saw great games from the 2 big stars on this team, 2 of the big stars on this team, as this team has a lot of stars. But Mike Jack with 33 points. Let me tell you something. He went into the half with 2 points. That's it, 2 points. He ended up dropping 4 threes and 33 points, not to mention 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 5 steals. A great game to remember for him, and right behind him, Kean Price. There he is right there, passing it off to Mike Jack, who gets the easy layup. We saw a great game from Mike Jack, not to mention Kean Price had 28 points in his own right, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 6 rebounds to go along with it. It was a fun game, and it ended 113-110.
Yeah, definitely a quality win. Of course, on the other side, Stockton fallen to Kean, a 72-56, a dominant victory for the Cougars as they come back and getting after it here. And that's going to set up this NJAC playoff bracket. Let's take a look over at that real quick, as the teams have the same path. They have to get through one another. But Vin, break down the bracket for me.
Yeah, so absolutely. As we've said already, Rowan and Stockton are the 1 and 2 seeds. So Montclair, if they win today, no matter what, either Kean or Montclair, they will not be playing any home games whatsoever. Montclair will have to go against Stockton. Stockton, they'll be hosting if Montclair advances. And, of course, on top, Ramapo and TCNJ, whoever wins that, will go to Glassboro to take on the Rowan Profs.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Coach Potts and the Red Hawks are no stranger to the NJAC playoffs. Let's take a dive into the playoff run just last year.
Absolutely. We started off against We started off against NJCU in the quarterfinals, and Montclair, may I say, they took them down with quite ease, winning by 20, an 89-69 win led by Kean Price, who had a career-high 31 points, and Mike Jackson, who was 4 for 5 from beyond the arc and ended with 21 points. Then, of course, a great game there, but it moves on. Stockton ended Montclair's season there. Although, of course, Steve Bremen, who's no longer with us on the court, had an impressive stat line of 25, 6, and 7. It would be DJ Campbell of Stockton who came in with the highlights and not only put up 35 points, but had 6 steals to match it.
For sure, and you know, despite the loss there was still hope for an at-large bid, which the Red Hawks would in fact secure and head down to Baltimore to face Hamilton.
Yes, of course. And of course, you see the video here of the boys watching, waiting for potentially getting their bid, and there they are. They're hyped up. They love it, and you can potentially see it again this season. Exactly what you want to see. It would be Hamilton in Baltimore that they would have to go face. So they took the ride down to Maryland after this great video. It was their first appearance in 20 years. I mean, that says a lot. Now, of course, they go to Hamilton. It didn't go as planned. They kept close, in the first half. A little bit got taken away from them in that second, but we saw Keon Price, Mike Jackson lead the team with 18 and 6 points, and of course Kieran Flanagan put up 9.
For sure, it was definitely a solid run last year, but the job just fell in a little short, especially for the standards of this squad. We know they've been able to get it done 23 trips to the NJAC Playoffs, including 7 finals appearances, 3 NJAC titles. They've lifted the gold. Unfortunately, has not been since back in 2003 for the last time. But, Vin, with an experienced squad for Coach Potts, could this be the year?
You want to know? I got to be honest. It could absolutely, potentially be that year. Why? Because this team has so many weapons. Yes, of course, last year you lose Steve Bremen, who was such a big part of this team. I mean, the points that he put up was unbelievable. We saw the 1,000 points that he put up. But you add Samar Abdullah, who now has another year under his belt. Francisco Paulino has kind of upgraded himself a little bit. Ahmad Robinson, who we've seen NJAC Rookie of the Week. Kunga Saring has been a big part of this team. And not to mention, Mike Jackson has been incredible, and he's been upgrading his skills. This entire team has been building upon themselves, really working together, and there's a lot of players on this team that go unspoken, but they have such high level of competitivity that we're going to see it this year. Get ready for next year. You're going to see another level of this team.
And Vin, don't forget you got the General Keon Price out there, the Pitbull, Kieran Flanagan, both in the starting lineup. A lot of experience. They've been in this situation before. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how they get after it. What are you expecting in this game?
Well, first of all, Keon Price, he has a lot of experience. If you watch the NBA, you know who Naz Reid is. Well, guess what? Keon Price played with him when he was in high school in Roselle Catholic.
Yeah, no, we'll see for sure. But I'll tell you right now, I think we should get into our keys to the game. We're going to head on over to Matt Bruchet, who's got our keys to the game right now. Matty boy, take it away.
How's it going, guys? Nothing better than some NJAC playoff basketball. I spoke with Associate Head Coach Sean Rossi before the game started today to get his 3 keys to the game. Number 1, it's easy baskets in transition. And the second key, which leads right into that first one, is to be able to force turnovers with that ball pressure and that full court press that's been so potent so far this season. They call it heating the ball up, right? They keep track of how many tips they have in the game. They want a high number today to be able to force those turnovers to get those easy looks under the basket. And number 3, maybe most important, is going to be that team defense. Who wants the team to communicate with one another. They got beat on rotations last game when they let up 84 points against the Kean Cougars their last meeting. So if they can do those 3 things, they'll have success today against the Cougars. Maz, Vincent, back to you guys.
Definitely for sure. We can highlight key players like Mike Jackson and DJ Alicia. They're combined 34 points on the season. But if you don't know about them, you might as well be living under a rock with the work that they've been putting in. Vin, I got a player in mind real quick for Montclair State, the Red Hawks. The big fella Francisco Paulino, the impact that he's had on this season, and the first game out against Kean in that win. I think that's the key. Walk me through it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Francisco Paulino, he had a career-high 16 points in that first game against Kean. He struggled a little bit in the second, but it doesn't matter. I mean, he has been a force on this team, and since being put in the starting role, it's been a huge improvement for this team. And we've talked about it during regular season games. It means a lot to this team. He is a big guy, and he's going to be a big part of this team tonight.
And, for sure, speaking of being a big part of the team, a big part is depth. And your key player for Kean isn't even in the starting lineup tonight, Vin. Walk me through it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going with number 14, Justin Morton. He has not started the game. This is his first year at Kean, and I think it's a mistake that he's not starting, because he's put up 20 and 22 against this Montclair State team, and he's a three-point shooter. We know this Montclair State team. They are going to want to shoot that 3 ball, and he is the balancing piece on the Kean team, the Kean Cougars that need him.
No, for sure, we're going to see what impact that the junior guard out of Charlotte, North Carolina has on this one. But, the most important matchup might be this coaching matchup between Coach Potts and David Turco. Definitely going to be interesting to see their 3D chess matchup. We'll get to that in a second as we have starting tip-off, starting with the big fellas, Francisco Paulino and Mario Gunn at the center, as we are just underway here for this NJAC matchup. Here we go, and it's going to be Paulino coming away with it. Kean Price going to be man in the helm.
He's won more of those tip-offs than he's lost.
And not even wasting any time, Kean Price into the point for a quick score. Quickly, your starting lineups for the men's basketball team of Kean Cougar, for the Kean Cougars, number 10, J.D. Daniels, 12, Ethan Smith, number 20, Tyler Spencer, 21, Mario Gunn, and there's the defense, that high-energy defense, Vin.
Now, listen, you're talking about defense. Yes, Montclair has an insanely good defense, but Kean, they have an upgraded defense. They're second ranked in the NJAC, and they don't allow that many points. Just around the
Mike Jackson, cash money 3 from up top. And speaking of Mike Jackson, let's get into these Red Hawks starting lineups. Number 1, the senior guard Kean Price. Number 2, the senior guard Kieran Flanagan. Number 4, the sophomore guard Samar Abdullah. Number 5, the junior guard Mike Jackson. And number 12, the center Francisco Paulino. As you see the pass down low into the, hey, that one is going to end up blocked as Mario Gunn trying to take it. Here comes Kieran Flanagan. Going to hand it off to Mike Jack. Nice find to Paulino, but they're going to say that he stepped on the line. That's going to be a turnover heading Kean way.
If you're going to look for anyone to really equalize against Francisco and Paulino, it's going to be Mario Gunn. He leads the NJAC in rebounds, and he's not too far away in blocks. He's third.
And, you know, speaking of the NJAC, Montclair currently with the 3rd seed. And I believe that's going to be a turnover and Red Hawk ball. Of course, Kean coming in with the 6th seed. Impressive records on the year. 17-8 overall for Montclair, 12-6 in NJAC play for Kean, 12-13 overall, but more importantly, a 9-9 NJAC record. The question, who will be able to pull out in front? As Mike Jack down low with Paulino, posting up, hook shot right where it needs to be. Tack on 2, and it's a 7-0 run for the Red Hawks.
And that's exactly how you want to get started.
Paulino stealing the inbound pass. Abdullah up top. Flanagan thinking about pulling it. That one a loose ball. But Flanagan's tenacity coming away with it. Going to reset things with Price.
Flanagan, I mean, he might have made a little bit of a mistake there, but he's such a gutsy player.
And
get right back.
once again walking into an open layup. The general directing traffic, and it's 9-0 down here at Panzer.
Well, the price was right on that one. He found a lane, and he took it.
Unbelievable. What a start. You know what? Let's get in and take the time to get into this coaching matchup as we were talking about with Potts and Coach Turco. I mean, I'll tell you, man, a combined 14 years as the main man at the collegiate level. Potts has the advantage with a 5-3 record overall, including a 4-0 record here at Panzer. And starting off 9-0 run, just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, starting on Montclair's side, Coach Potts is in his 5th season now, and before this, he was coaching at his alma mater, Moravian College, where he led the Hounds to a 70-40 record through his 4 seasons there.
For sure, and you know, Turco no slouch himself, getting it done at the high school level. Couple of, I believe, Tournament of Champions, no longer a thing, but the best of the best playing in New Jersey. He's come away with that a couple of times. And here come the Cougars, and an easy strike down low, a beautiful assist from Ethan Smith to J.D. Daniels, and Kean's on the board. Mike Jackson up top, Abdullah going down low, and there's Paulino carving out space, missing but grabbing his own rebound, hounded a bit, no problem from the big fella.
He does that right around Mario Gunn, who, again, as I said earlier, leads the NJAC in rebounds. He's getting up there, he's playing with his chest on his sleeve.
And here you see the patented full court press as Mike Jackson in the pocket of Ethan Smith. Looks like Kunga Sering and Kyrie Henry, talk about important pieces, might be checking in. Hey, Kean Price cannot believe that one is not off of Alicia.
They are pumped up. They're making this look like, I mean, you love the energy. This feels like that double overtime game, and this feels like the overtime. We're only 3 minutes in.
And Sering and Henry checking in. They're going to check in for Abdullah and, of course, Paulino. So already going to the bench is Coach Potts. And what a drive that is from Ethan Smith. 11-4 the score. Back and forth we go these last two possessions. And Price up top gets the screen from Sering. Down low, dumps it to the big fella. 6'7", too much to handle.
Whew. Oh, boy. Kunga can get up there. I mean, he came from the D2 level. He's come down to Montclair, and he's been a force to be reckoned with. Coming into this season, you were looking for a kind of a piece that would replace Steve Freeman. Obviously, you can't find anyone that can replace Steve Freeman, but a guy that can blow the top off of Panzer's roof, I mean, Kuka's never could do that.
And you know, I know there's the D2, the D3 level, but really not much difference, especially when you're playing in a conference like the NJAC. You might as well be playing D1 the way that these guys get out there and compete. And Mike Jackson saying that that's my bad. He got caught with the hand in the cookie jar on the reach-in. So that's going to be first foul on Jackson, first team foul for the Red Hawks. And Kean's going to inbound here with Ethan Smith. Full court press as Quan Rogers in the game for the Red Hawks. Coming up for Jack, and that one stolen by Kieran Flanagan. Another inbound. Sering taking flight and jamming it down.
Welcome to the NJAC Playoffs, Kean. Montclair is letting nothing off the pedal.
And an unforced turnover coming from Alicia. And that's going to be another Red Hawk possession, 16-4. And there's still 16:29 remaining here in half number one. You've got to be kidding me.
They definitely took that loss personally in the second game of the season against Kean, because there is nothing here that they're not stopping.
Price missing the three. Alicia going to come away with the board. Rogers on the pressure. And Kean needs to get something going here fast. Alicia going to swing this one with Trey Hartz. Tyler Spencer out with Daniels. They're going to reset things here with Smith. Smith calling the play, goes away from the screen. Taking on Price, met by Sering down low. Outlet pass to the corner. That one just a little short. Price coming down with it. Oh, and Rogers was hoping Henry was going to cut in. Outlet pass coming. It's Flanagan down low. He loses the possession. And Vin, I can barely keep up with the action.
You want to know what Coach Potts is very much known for that fast-paced offense, fast-paced defense, trying to get things off as quickly as possible. They're a fun team to watch, but yeah, for us in the announcing booth, it's a little hard sometimes to keep up.
As Robertson checking in, gets that one over with Henry. The big fella Sering up top. Montclair going to look to pick their moments. Amari Mills, another piece of that depth. And that's going to be Robertson. What a spinning jumper. Whoa.
He's a freshman. He's insane.
I mean, the confidence of this young fella gives me some more Abdullah vibes. And there with the defense coming down the court again. Robertson to the corner. Kyrie Henry, foot on the line. Turnover.
Just a little misplaced there by Henry. But, I mean, talking about Ahmad Robertson, he is an NJAC Player of the Week, which I always love to mention. But earlier this season, he dropped a career high. He's only at the collegiate level for less than a year. 20 points against Stockton.
And you know, how about just the gems that you see from Coach Potts' squad as a missed time pass is going to go out of bounds. Too much for the Cougar Spencer to handle. And again, possession going in favor of Montclair State. But it seems every year Coach Potts and his staff find a gem. Remember, 2 years ago it was Mike Jackson, and then it was Samar Abdullah last season, and now here it is, Ahmad Robertson. Henry, pass out to Robertson, into the paint, jumper, no good. Alicia coming down with it.
But he had a nice fake right there against Alicia. Just a little bit more accuracy, he's got it.
And here's the pressure from Robertson. Too much of a bumping action for the ref's liking. That's going to be a foul. The second one against Montclair. First on Robertson.
And really quickly, I mean, we've seen DJ Alicia with the ball a lot today. He has been incredible this season. He has he has 8 games with 20-plus points. And against Montclair, he has dominated, 24 and 28.
You know, for sure, having to take that big role. Barker Griffin Barker not on the court for the Cougars. Definitely would have been interesting to see him in this matchup, but here we have it, and that's going to be a charge as Trey Hartz, the junior, just steamrolling. And that's going to be another turnover in favor of Montclair State. We heard about the keys, Vin, and the defense more active than ever.
I mean, the Red Hawks are rolling right now, and I'd be scared to think that there's anything that can stop them.
Paulino setting up Mike Jackson. Euro step takes the bump, and that's going to be a foul, sending Jackson to the line.
I mean, I imagine the Cougars also had an intense practice, but we got the opportunity to go to practice, and I mean, we saw they were in the mindset. There was no games whatsoever. Mike Jackson, who's taking the shots right now, was pumped up. I mean, he really wanted this game right now. He was serious. He just wanted to take his shots, do his best, and have the entire team do the exact same.
Yeah, and you know, I'll tell you, the entire team just matching that level of passion you saw from Jack. We talked with Coach Potts, you know, about Panzer. He said there's nothing like it. The electricity, the atmosphere, the fans, how the intimacy that this place creates, Vin, is just absolutely electric. The reverb that you hear, we always have a packed crowd, but the reverb almost triples it, and it can be intimidating. As the three ball comes, and the friendliest stop you'll ever see in your life.
He would have thought that was a home game with that friendly roll.
And Price now going cross court over to Abdullah. Coming into the lane, out to Paulino, jumper, and he can't miss.
Oh man, Francisco Paulino going into his bag, looking like a mom at Kohl's.
Now coming down the court again. Alicia, 3, cash money from the wing, and the Cougars have woken up.
There's a couple people on this Kean team that you really don't want to let get hot. He is number 1 on that list.
Price again setting it. You see these setting up in the lane, and these outlet passes trying to attack these angles. Looking like a prize championship boxer picking their moments. Price again up top. Out to Paulino. The big fella gonna show off the moves. Fading. Just a little short. That one grabbed by Gunn. Coming down the court. Morton puts up the jumper. No good. It's gonna be Mike Jackson on the rebound.
I think in a fast break like that, you got to go up for the layup. There's too much momentum going on your side.
Paulino setting up Flanagan. We know their chemistry and a little scoop layup. No problem. We got a sideline report real quick here with Matt Boucher. Matt, take it away, brother.
Hey, guys, this has early showings of a shootout, and Montclair loves to get into shootouts. When they've scored 90 points this season, they're 8-0. Back to you guys.
You know, you love to score and you love to get after it. These guys love the energy. You don't want to get into a fast break game as Paulino jumping into the air, receiving the assist from Price. And another 2 tacked on to the scoreboard, Vin.
Price and Flanagan, I mean, the assist monsters on this team. They're playmaking machine.
Oh, I don't know about that. As Price looked to have ball, but it's going to be Alicia heading to the line. You were saying?
Well, really quickly on that play, I thought I would have heard a whistle earlier if that was going to be a foul, because it looked like it was a block because they didn't blow the whistle, but then they blowed it last second. I think that's just a little bit of a late call.
What might have been one of those, if he makes it, you let it go.
Yeah.
If not, you know, I mean, these refs, it's playoff time. They want to give them the chance to get after it, play the physical brand. This is what the fans paid for. This is what the viewers tune in for. This is what gets me out of the bed in the morning, Vin.
Absolutely. Waking me up in the morning. Can't sleep over NJAC playoffs.
So, Alicia at the line.
I mean, Alicia is kind of in a class with Mike Jackson. Both of them juniors, and both of them have upgraded their stuff so much this year. I mean, Alicia was not on the starting lineup to start the season.
Henry down in the paint. There's Robinson bailing him out. Back up top. Thought about the 3. attacking the rim, too much on it. And that one going to be taken by Stith. Ethan Stith.
Yeah, that was a little scary right there. I thought Stith was going to lose that one.
Going over now, Mario Gunn, the center, trying to get the offense rolling, but he picks up the dribble, gets it to Alicia. Nice spin, floating it right over Jackson.
That is not someone you want to, again, it's going to be, I'm going to sound like a broken record. That is not someone you want to let get hot.
Robertson gets that one poked away. A great steal coming from Morton. Starting the break here, Trey Hartz. Going to slow things down. Nice recovery defense from the Redhawks. Alicia calling for the screen, going to take it. Nice job by Sering to keep him out from penetrating. And now, here's Morton. Back up with Stith. 3 short. Robertson grabbing the rebound.
I mean, the passes were working. They got the open look that they were wanting to get.
And the big fella, Sering, already throwing down one jam. The pass out with Robertson. Little hesitation, no problem. And a little drop shot.
He's able to do it, and you can see, usually when Kuga fakes that 3, he's going in for a dunk, but it was read perfectly by Gunn. And he goes to another option, and just like we said, the amount of weapons in this arsenal, Potts has 5 weapons on the court right now.
For sure, and I'll tell you right now, Samar Abdullah and Robertson could be the next Mike Jackson and Keon Price duo for me.
I have to say, like, I can never say that they will become this, but they are showing so much promise right now, and I love Samar Abdullah's stuff.
Sering up top, pulls the 3. No good. Jackson keeping the offensive board alive. As that was Mario Gunn back on the layup for the Cougars. And there's going to be a foul called, I believe, against Abdullah. As I maybe got an extension of the arm. We'll wait to get clarification on that. It's going to be Cougar ball. And I believe turnover is going to be on Sering. My apologies. And here we have it. Full court pressure. That one going to hit off of Jackson's foot. But you saw him and Price almost having Spencer in a compromise. I'm sorry, Hart in a compromised position. Stith.
The full court press, it leads to some really aggressive blows, just trying to calm down the court and get the play started.
And Hart's down low to Gunn. Gunn having to double clutch with the pressure, but no problem for the big fella as he makes it 17.
That's why he's such a great player down low, such a great player to have on any team.
Keon Price pops it. It's a little to the right, no good.
They've only got 1 3-pointer so far.
And here's Hartz, and that's going to be a foul going against Keon Price, his first of the game. My apologies, his second on the game. This is going to send Trey Hartz to the line now. 8:46 left to play, and the scoring off the charts right now.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the numbers right now, I mean, of course, we're only 12 minutes into the quarter. We still have, or a little under 12 minutes into the quarter. We still have a lot of time left. But the big things that I saw from the Montclair losses, not just the Kean loss, but a lot of the losses this year was the turnover ratios. They were giving up a lot. I talked about it before. Stockton game. They lost because of the turnover. 35 points and 5 steals. That's not a good player stat for an opposing team. So far today, Kean 8 turnovers. Montclair 4. They have made a defensive team turn over the ball more than a lot.
For sure, as Hartz makes both at the line. Here's Flanagan up top. Robertson missed time in the pass with Paulino. Mario Gunn there to swoop in for the steal. Ethan Stith passing with Gunn now with Robertson getting past him. Skip pass to the corner. And up top, here's Morton. Morton driving in, losing possession, but that one somehow bouncing back to Gunn. Over where Hart's shot is good. Trey Hart's.
That is a nice shot. You got to give credit where credit's due. He's seen limited minutes, but he did have a career high 17 points against Rowan earlier this season. With that shot, he could do a lot of damage.
And that was some great defense from J.D. Daniels on Mike Jackson. Now here's Flanagan taking the Paulino screen. Down low with Gunn, and they're going to get him stepping on the baseline. And that's going to be a turnover.
The lead's getting smaller and smaller right now, and I think Coach Potts makes a nice decision on calling timeout, a full timeout on this one. You're going to need it. You don't want to, especially with the momentum that they came in to start the game. The biggest worry when I see teams come out of the gates just blowing the roof off the places, you can't keep that level of intensity, and once you take it off just a little bit, the Cougars able to answer.
No, for sure. But, Coach Potts, with his associate head coach, Sean Rossi, assistant coaches, Mike Palazzi, Will Bishop, and, of course, Devin Cooper in on that staff. I mean, they have quite the staff of how to work these situations, calm things down, and get back to the game plan. As we are currently looking at a 7-point game, you got to give it to that opposing staff with David Turco, Bill Kilduff, Jerry Henderson, Mike Burton, Xavier Fuller, Mike Granda, and Carl Towns Sr.
Yeah, I mean, what once was a 16-point lead has been narrowed down to a 7.
It's all about the matchups. It's all about who can execute and have the motor to the finish. But if there's one thing about these two teams, they definitely have the motor. Cougars going to reset up top now with Alicia. Quan Rogers on him. Passing it down low. Hart's going to take a jumper. No good. And there's Rogers soaring in for the rebound.
That's another guy that I really like his potential. Contavious Rogers. I mean, he's seen limited minutes, but I feel like if you let him cook.
Oh, and speaking of cooking right on cue, there's Kieran Flanagan with the reverse.
He's not known for his scoring ability, but when he does it with style.
And bullying down low, no good. There's Gunn with the cleanup. J.D. Daniels on the initial attempt. And that's why you always trail the shooter.
Well, if you're looking for people with weird stat lines right now, Mike Jack only has one shot. He's made it, but he only has one shot.
That's going to definitely be changing as they're looking to get everyone else going right now. Flanagan to Rogers on the wing. 5 seconds to work with. Pass, and that one's going to be hit out of bounds, but it's going to stay here with the Red Hawks. I'll tell you, J.D. Daniels, since he's checked back into the game, the fifth-year guard out of North New Jersey, has been cranking up the defensive intensity.
And also, I want to take quick notice. I mean, Quintavious Rogers had a little bit too hard of a pass there. You see Kieran Flanagan, who now both of them are taking a seat, including Mike Jack. Kieran Flanagan kind of telling him, hey, you got to take it a little easy.
And Robertson, that's going to be a shot clock violation as it hits off the glass, but not rim. Not a lot of time to work with how to get that one up.
I mean, Kieran Flanagan, anyway, has been really, and we saw him in practice, he takes a lead as, hey, listen, I'm the player coach of this team. I need to keep sure that these guys are in line, and we're going to play our best ball.
We always talk about depth. Here's Amir Williams checking in. Getting screened, though, as Alicia walks in. But another big fella, another defensive piece. This Red Hawk bench is just as deep as the Mariana Trench. Robertson, another tough shot and another make. What is this kid going to be when he's a senior?
That is a mismatch for Ahmad Robertson. He says, I don't care. I don't care. You could be Mario Gunn. You could be Matumbo. You could be anybody. I'm shooting over you.
Giving up some height there. Mario Gunn at an impressive 6'5". Of course, Robertson standing at 6'1". And now, here you see an all-out press. Some nice passing to get through it, though. See Paulino yelling out defensive assignments here. Gunn going to come back down low. And there's the defense I'm talking about from Williams.
He's here for that reason. He's really, complimented the defense that he has.
brings the length, brings the height, brings the athleticism. Robertson taking the screen, dumping that one to Williams, easy strike. And when you make difficult shots like that, Finn, you get the defense's attention.
Absolutely, and a nice pass by Ahmad Robertson. He didn't have full control of that ball.
Oh, and Amir Williams almost coming away with the steal. Got a little arm on that one, they say. And that's going to be a reach-in.
I think he was looking for a jump ball there. It would have gone in the Red Hawks' favor, but it doesn't work out in his favor.
And now Kean in the bonus. Mario Gunn going to head to the line the first time in this game.
5 minutes left on this clock. Would have liked to see it a little later, but.
And he misses that one off the back rim.
And, you know, as he checks back in, I just want to quickly recognize Samar Abdullah.
Oh, and the big fella trying to fight for it. But Gunn has been a formidable opponent in this one. I'm loving watching him and Paulino go back and forth at it.
Now, as I was saying, Samar Abdullah, I mean, this is, as much as this is a great playoff game to watch for him.
We have a scrum down low, and it's going to be Kunga Sering coming away with it. Looking like a rugby scrum. Robertson going to get tripped up there by Morton.
And he's trying to call for ball. That was a clear trip. That's like putting a stick in a bicycle wheel.
You ever had that happen to you, Vin?
Yep. Thank you, Leonardo Picone.
So now it's going to be a throw in here with Kyrie Henry. And Price going to get the offense rolling. Up top with Sering. Flanagan trying to get a shifty pass down low, but just too much on it. And this is going Cougar way. .422, 34-25, Vin.
And if you're looking at really, we did this a lot for soccer. It's obviously an entirely different game, but the substitutions that these two teams have been making, Kean has only used 7 players. Montclair has used 11. And you can see that, like, every single player that they bring in, they bring something new to the court.
And they're going to get a blocking foul here on Kunga Sering.
If you've been watching men's basketball for the entire season, you've seen, I mean, Kunga, probably I would say his biggest problem is he gets into foul trouble early. And that really takes away the minutes that he has, which is why we've seen kind of Francisco Paulino take that starting role, because he's able to stay away from that.
But when Kunga is in the game, he is effective as anything. Oh, and there you see it slipping, but no problem, and right on cue. That's the effectiveness that I'm talking about. As Morton missing that free throw right before that one, and there was going to be a wide open basket for Alicia, but the defense just too strong, as I believe that might have been Abdullah getting a hand in it.
Samar Abdullah says not today. And as I was trying to say it earlier, but he just made a big play. Samar Abdullah, this isn't just a big playoff game for him. This is probably a big team for him to face, because this season he got his first collegiate start against the Kean Cougars.
And some great footwork coming from from Ethan Stith, the junior out of Marlton, New Jersey. It's all about getting to the spots. Abdullah up top, gonna pull it. And that one rimming out.
And again, I saw Kunga try to pump fake the three, trying to get an open lane potentially.
More in cash money from the corner, your player to look out for, Vin.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I'm telling you to look out for him. Now 6 points, or I apologize, his first points on the board.
And a nice pass down low, but maybe an even better block is Trey Hart's going to be credited with that one. And now a scoring substitution coming in as Mike Jackson, Ahmad Robertson, and Amari Mills are going to check in. And the defense from Price, Abdullah, and Henry going to check out. Sering Taking the inbound pass up top now, Flanagan. Over with Mills, gets a screen. Gonna receive a second one down low, and Sering trying to put the stamp on the envelope, but just not enough.
I mean, it's getting very close right now. Now just a 6-point lead.
And a great finish coming from Stith. You saw them get Kunga out of the paint, and that left the one-on-one lane. And now a 4-point game. Mike Jack's trying to turn up. No good. Robertson getting it, and they're going to get him on a travel.
I mean, Montclair came to this game very pumped up, but they've struggled since that point. And that's only the second shot that we've seen from Mike Jack today. Time's running down, and although, yes, he ended last game with only 2 points going into the half and ended with 33, still, it's the playoffs. It's a little bit more uncomfortable.
And you see Turco, head coach Turco, asking for a foul there on Jackson, but not obliged. A mistimed shot going up, no good for Alicia. And what looked to be a blocking foul, if it wasn't going to be a charge, is not called. But the basketball gods answer, and it's going to be Red Hawk ball. Mike Jack 3, no good. Mills gets it. Flanagan mistiming, and a foul going to be called. This is going to stay with the Red Hawks, as Flanagan going all out on the effort.
Kieran Flanagan, I mean, this guy is something else. He took flight for a second there, got a little tripped up, and just flew. Look at it right there. He just flew. He gets up with 5 seconds. Within 5 seconds, he's totally fine. This guy, I mean, he is the Iron Man.
Well, yeah, you know, rumor has it that in the streets they call him Tony Stark. Shot coming up. No good. Ahmad Robertson grabbing it. Paulino out to Mills. Passes all around. Jackson getting trapped. That's Mario Gunn coming away with it. Gunn had the mismatch. Going to pass back out and receive it. Going to have 20 seconds to work with as we approach the 1-minute mark. And here's Stith. Passing back out. It's going to be Morton, hounded by Flanagan, putting up the shot. No good. Mills coming down with it. 50 seconds on the clock. Robertson with Jackson. Coming around. And that one no good by Flanagan. Didn't get enough oomph on the shot.
Now just a 4-point lead.
Short time here on the clock. They can't hold for the last shot. If they can come away with some points and not give the Red Hawks a lot of room to work with. Pass down low to Gunn. Too much on it. Cleanup crew gonna earn the foul. That's Trey Hart's on the offensive board. And I believe they're gonna
get in Paulino with that one.
And this is going to send Trey Hart's to the line. 14.9, and the shot clock no longer a factor.
I mean,
can he cut into this 4-point lead?
Montclair might have the final possession here, but this is a lot closer than the Red Hawks thought that they would be in a situation right now.
And what a start it was to this game, as Montclair jumping out to a 9-0 lead. And they've cut it here with a chance to make it a 2-point game. Hart's second attempt coming. Crowd getting in on the action, but Hart not phased. And now Robertson, 12 seconds to work with. Big screen from Paulino. Robertson is going to draw the foul on Mario Gunn. And you saw the hesitation there. I thought they were going to get a carry call for a second.
That's what I thought too. I was a little scared for a second. But they get a gun on the hand.
A little confused with Montclair in the bonus. Thought they should be at the line there. And that's going to be a 5-second violation, as Robertson couldn't get the ball in. It's going to be Kean ball, 7 seconds to work with.
Kean has a chance to take the lead or potentially tie this game. Did anyone think within the first just even 10 minutes that this would be how it would be 10 minutes later?
And Steph Flores just checked out. It's going to be Mike Isaac checking in. Trying to get some experience out on the court with the junior. See what Turco draws up for this last one. Inbound pass coming with Daniels. Robertson in his pocket. They get it over with Alicia. He's got Paulino. Adam puts up the shot. Cash money on a Carmelo Anthony-esque fading corner. Wow. And we're all tied up at 36 apiece. You have got to be kidding me.
And I mean, you got to hope that, you got to be happy that's how you end the half. I mean, Montclair needs to go into there and really get their momentum back because they just lost it in the second half of that first half.
Yeah, Kean's got to be ecstatic the way that they just fought back into this one. It's definitely interesting, but, you know, the strategies are going to come out here, everybody in their bag, win or go home time. And if there's somebody that knows a thing or two about strategies, I believe it's Coach Harvey. And speaking of, we got Matt Boucher with Coach Harvey right now. Matt, take it away, buddy.
36-36 out of halftime. Coach Harvey, how is Kean able to close this gap?
Well, you know, we were just talking over there. Kean is really peaking at the right time. They beat Montclair at Montclair, and then they went down to Stockton and beat Stockton. So I think, you know, they got off to a little slow start, but when we don't score, they're really great in transition, and I think that's how they close the gap.
And it's really a game of momentums right now. What kind of adjustments would you be making at halftime if you're Coach Bonds?
I don't think he needs to make any adjustments. You know, what I like is he's got everybody scoring, everybody contributing, but I think they have to make shots so that they can put their press on.
And how do you slow down Kean in the second half?
I think the biggest thing, like I just said, kind of just to make shots. You know, I think when they score, they can prevent those Kean runouts. You know, but they'll put their press on, which is really good. And then they've got to rebound the ball.
Thank you, Coach. Maz Vincent, back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. And, you know, that it's all about making the shots for sure. But how about the efficiency that we saw here in this first half? I mean, 47, a little over 47% for Montclair State. They want to get that up a little higher. They were hovering right around high 60s to start that first run. But Kean answers just over 53%. Let's take a look back at this action as they were going punch for punch, man.
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to start here with the Kunga-Sering dunk. I mean, at this point in the game, the roof was off. And then Francisco Paulino with that easy layup from Keon Price. It's right there. And then you see a block, but the double clutch and the nice layup by Gunn. And this is when the things start to get a little out of control. Now, Kunga-Sering here, we've seen him in practice. He's done that a lot. He knows how to make that play happen. And then, of course, Mari Mills trying to go inside the Kunga-Sering doesn't work entirely. And, of course, Trey Hartz at the buzzer. Oh, my goodness. I mean, he's breaking hearts right now.
Definitely a heartbreaker for sure. I mean, but this is what it's all about. This is NJAC Playoffs for a reason. It only gets harder from here. Montclair, a second half team. You see Kean coming alive in the second half of the season. We'll see who can pull ahead here as they jockey for position to head on to that next round. We'll see how the matchups fare out. We'll get some updates for you if we can on the NJAC playoffs. But for right now, we're going to step aside with about 12 minutes to go. He's Vincent Pacone. I'm Brandon Morazzo. Thank you for joining us this afternoon here on the Red Hawk Sports Network, and we'll catch you soon. And we are back here live from Panzer Athletic Center here on Montclair State University campus. I'm Brandon Morazzo, he's Vincent Picone, and we got 30 seconds until we get back after it here with second half action of the first round of the NJAC Playoffs, where Montclair State is currently tied up at 36 with the Kean Cougars, and it's been quite the effort as we just saw a dagger of a play coming from Trey Hartz right at the buzzer beater to tie things up. Him and, of course, DJ Alicia leading the way, tied up with 8. On the other side, the big fella Francisco Paulino also in there for leading scorer of the game with 8. Going back and forth. Then, what's going to be the key to unlock this W?
Well, I mean, it'll be a – let's just put it this way. The start of the game, it looked like Montclair would be running away with it at a half. It's not how it rolled it out. But if you like to watch stories, if you like to watch great games, welcome to the second half of Montclair State and Kean.
As Alicia getting it in with Gunn. He's going to get it up. Moving with Stith. Stith driving. Going to dish out. And Kean looking to really get an open look, and cash money. J.D. Daniels on the pull-up. You saw the fake pass and the composure to get the shot.
His first points of the night right there. I apologize, his 5th point.
Big 3 coming for him. Kieran Flanagan taking us all around the world. Gonna get it out with Mike Jacks. Down low with the big fella. Flanagan taking the layup, and a foul going against Stith. He can't believe it.
Kieran's going to the line is exactly where you want to be. He's already 2 for 2 on the night, but really quickly, Mike Jack has been guarded immensely, very well. Very well. Usually by this point, we've said it already, he's only sitting at 3 points so far. It's not a spot where he wants to be whatsoever.
As Flanagan misses the first one, but I'll tell you right now, it's not a pretty bank account, about 500 and change in it, but I'd bet all my money that he's not finishing this game with 3 as that one rolls in for Stith, splitting a pair at the line.
Now, moving on here, Kean has really taken what they know. Their defense has turned it up a notch, and listen, Montclair has an insanely scary offense, one of the best offenses in the league.
Cash money, the exact same spot. J.D. Daniels making it rain.
Right in Mike Jack's face. I mean, 3-point leader.
Price over to Paulino. That one stripped from Gunn. Some nice active hands from the big fella.
Montclair just looked like I don't know what's going on right now. They need to get right back into their own because this is not a spot you want to be in to start off.
Stith at the logo. Calling out some plays. Going to take it. And looks like the sea just parts for him as he walks into the layup. 44-37 in favor of Kean, and that's going to be a timeout here for the Redhawks.
Coach Potts looks furious right now. I mean, Montclair right now on the wrong side of a 7-1 run, and to start off this game, they were on the right side of 7-0.
They were on the side of 9-0
a 9-0
at one
run,
point.
I apologize.
You know, back and forth we go here. This is it. It's 3D chess time. You go into the bag, you get your players into the best position. Players having to execute better than they normally do, almost near perfection, as you're looking to soar or claw your way to the next round, depending on what team you're on. We'll see, though. But lucky for the Redhawks, they got some talents with that flight power.
Absolutely. There you go. Look at that. The play on words. A Brandon Morazzo favorite.
Mike Jackson pulls the 3, cash money, and my bank account is secured.
Mike Jack, he can do it from any distance. I mean, there's Curry range, and then there's Mike Jack range.
You got that right, as he picks up Alicia down low, and that's going to be Daniels on the open layup.
Yeah, Paulino just trying to get back to his assignment there, and it did not work out in his favor.
Jackson over with Henry. And Paulino. Flanagan to the corner. Back up top. Jackson not liking what he sees. Flanagan with Price. Price gonna drive in. And you see the Dr. J.S. layup. He just floats.
Looking like a car on Route 80 in the left lane, just put in hyperdrive.
Nothing but gas there for sure. Stith again at the logo. Trying to set up his offense. Gonna clear out the paint. Nice defensive rotations here for Montclair. Daniels back up top. Guarded by Flanagan, putting it up, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a mismatch on Flanagan. That's a mismatch for J.D. Daniels. Flanagan, although he's incredibly aggressive, he is a little short, and sometimes that leads to easy layups down low or two-shot opportunities. Yeah, as you see on that play.
A 4-inch difference. Daniels with the advantage. Missing the first one. Second one coming up now for the 5th year. And it hits off the front rim, no good. Jackson with the rebound. Ooh. Nice screen from Paulino. Gonna get Jackson into space, but stifling defense coming.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought that was a foul. It looked like the hand went right into Jackson's face.
I'm not sure about that one, but I did see Mario Gunn locking up a bit. Here's Stith coming, reverse, and count it a la Steve Nash. Whew.
All you need is some peanut butter because they got jelly already.
Price now getting the screen. Jackson looking to get open on that wing. You know he wants to let it rip. Paulino with the screen, getting the pass. Daniels knocks it. Shot coming, no good. Gunn with the board.
I think Price thought that he had to put it up immediately right there. He had 3 seconds left on the shot clock. You could take your time, maybe just one step, but a step nonetheless.
Now Stith. Daniels 3, no good. And the student section for Kean ready to erupt on that one.
We can see Daniels, he's kind of got a weird shooting stance. The ball goes on one side of him instead of usually coming above the head.
But, you know, Larry Bird used to kind of shoot like that.
Well, yeah, Larry Bird. But
if it's effective, it works. And he's been effective in this one. Henry getting the mismatch, cutting Mike Jack, drawing the foul on Alicia. Mike Jack heading to the line.
And that's just an unselfish play by Kyrie Henry. I mean, a little bit dangerous, I'll say, because he had to pass it right through two Cougars.
Threading the needle.
Thread the needle. I mean, just like my grandma knitted me a sweater. Right there. But such an unselfish play because we saw Mike Jack did that a couple plays ago, and he got blocked. I'm not saying that Mike Jack was being selfish on that play, but you can recognize.
Well, Mike Jack always going to be looking to be in attack mode, and he can do it all. You talk about 3-level scoring. For him, it's really 5-level scoring.
And you can see Flanagan and Price now hitting the bench. Many people might be saying that's not a good choice. Yep. Trust me.
And Maz, what do you mean by 5-level scoring? He makes it count at the free throw line. He extends into Curry lanes. There's different levels to this. Mike Jack almost unguardable. Alicia carving out space. Just too strong on it from the pressure coming from Robertson and Henry. And Robertson throws that one right into Stith's hand. Alicia with Henry. And Henry going to reach in on that, not allowing Alicia to get some momentum going.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that move, but Henry's just got to watch out a little bit. That's his first foul, so I'm not worried whatsoever, but you can't let those big opportunities. And that's a second pass by Ahmad Robertson that we've seen that's been intercepted by one of the Cougars. And when push comes to shove, you got to be able to make those plays. I mean, Coach Potts is trusting Ahmad Robinson and Quintavious Rogers enough that he took Kieran Flanagan, the assist leader, and Keon Price, who's not that far behind him in assists, off the court.
So, Alicia makes the first one. Second one coming, and he gets the friendly roll. That's now 3 Cougars in double-digit scoring at 10 as he joins Stith and Daniels. Sering with Rogers. Rogers driving in, and a great Euro stop. They're asking for a travel, but that was perfect execution from Quan Rogers. 4-point game. Daniels with the layup. Robertson trying to respond, pulling up, gets the one-hander to go.
Insane.
And almost intercepted by Kyrie Henry. And Stith drawing the foul, but doesn't get the roll. But he'll be heading to the line.
And we said it before, Morton has been just a piece of work. But Stith, I mean, he can potentially get into 12 points right now.
Tying up Daniels for lead scorer.
Not to mention his 4 assists and 2 rebounds.
First one up, no good. And the free throw struggles continue here for Kean.
I mean, Montclair 6 for 7. Kean right now 7 for 12, just shooting 58%. And you take away Trey Hartz, who's 4 for 4 right now, and it's not pretty.
And after that miss, will be 7 for 13. We'll see after the second one. And he nails it.
So 8 for 14 from the line. I will say, we've seen teams, Montclair is one of them. We saw in that overtime win, Montclair.
The big fella just doing what he does best, driving, attacking, and putting that ball up where no one can get to it but him.
Listen, Mike Jack's amazing, Samar Abdullah is amazing, Keon Price, Kieran Flanagan, all amazing. There is one guy that can take the roof off of Panzer, and that is this man right here, Kunga Sering.
What a transfer in. 6'7", the sophomore out of Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. Little Roselle Catholic link up, you know, maybe him and Keon Price. Attended the same high school. Stith, no good. Mike Jackson soaring in on the rebound. It's Stith, not liking the contact. He Cook, the big fella Sering, cash money from the wing. Montclair regains the lead.
Kunga Sering, wow, he's going in his bag right now.
And that one, a nice assist coming from Spencer.
Just a 1-point game.
3-point attempt, no good, but there's Sering cleaning up and adding to it. Kunga Sering taking the lead as the top scorer, 13 points, an efficient 5 for 7. Open 3-point shot, no good. Mike Jackson on the rebound.
They just needed one player to start getting rolling, and Kunga Sering is that guy. He started it.
And a 3-ball, no good. But that's going to be Samar Abdullah picking up the foul and heading to the line.
I love Samar Abdullah's game. I love his game. He hasn't gotten on the board yet, but he's about to.
And I believe that's going to get a Cougar into foul trouble. As I believe that might be Spencer's fourth foul, if I'm not mistaken. Abdullah nails it.
Kean fans trying to get in Samar Abdullah's head. Samar says, not today. Not today. My home court, my nest. This ain't no Cougar cave.
Abdullah nailing all three of them. I'm sorry, both of them thought it might have been a three-point attempt. 2 for 3. Thank you very much. Montclair now with a 3-point lead. Stith. Crowd wanting a travel. I didn't see the extra foot on it.
I didn't see the extra foot either.
I did see a jump step. The hop step gets people sometimes. Oh, and a nice crossover, but an even better recovery you see from Williams affected Daniel's shot. No good. Montclair.
If you're watching this right now, I hope you can feel the amount of energy that is here in Panzer. Because coming out of the half with that 7-1 run, I mean, you could feel the 7-1 run on Kean's side. Right now, Montclair rocking and rolling.
So Price over to Paulino. Screening. 3-point ball coming up. No good. Henry, cash money, that's his spot. You got to know your personnel.
He might have 0 on his back, but he's looking for 3.
He's got that Damian Lillard clutchness in him when needed, especially from that corner. Oh, and there's Alicia with a quick response. He's going to be heading back to the line.
If we've seen one thing that Kean's really done to separate them from the first half and them right now, they have picked up the pace. They've really picked up the pace. They're not trying to run as many plays. They're just trying to get in there and get out. But quick, I mean, going back to that great shot by Kyrie Henry, he always plays with a smile on his face. That guy, I mean, you can't tell if it's a 1-point game or if it's a 20-point game. He has that smile on his face, and he keeps that on during practice, too.
Abdullah down low, floating it up for Paulino. Paulino gonna get a charge.
Listen.
There was some big contact down there. You see Coach Potts asking for something else that might have taken place down there, but they're gonna be going with the charge against Paulino.
You got to give it to Coach Potts.
His second.
Mean, he's always able to be there for his players, to make it, to make the room know, hey, listen, I'm a Red Hawk too. But he's also able to keep his cool, so he doesn't put his team in frustrating positions.
And now Gunn gonna get it over Morton. Back with Daniels, and the Cougars are forced to reset. 11 minutes remaining here in half number 2. Stith soaring in there for a layup, and that's going to be a timeout here for Coach Turco.
2-point game. Right now, this place is about to go off, but there are a couple teams in the stands here at Montclair, and they should not go unrecognized. We got to see them at halftime. A lot of them around. We have the football team, of course. We have the women's lacrosse team that we're so excited to watch in the upcoming week. They're all happy. We have the women's basketball team with Isabel Orlando, Shannon Hughes, Alexis Strollo, and Jen Farah, and of course Amanda Castro down low. And of course the men's basketball team, who we all love to watch. A lot more athletes are here, just we're not able to get them on camera, but the love here, the Red Hawk love, you love to see it. You can feel it around here. When you walk into this building, you love Montclair. When you walk out, you feel the Montclair energy.
No, absolutely, and they're going to need all the energy here to finish off this high-quality action. Mike Jackson coming off the screen, lets it rip. 2 defenders on him, no problem, cash money.
Mike Jackson is the man. Wow.
Stith making it look easy, but Keon Price getting a hand in there. 3 cash money to answer from Morton.
Oh, man. They definitely studied for this test.
Flanagan looking for Paulino, ops with Price. Jackson back with Paulino, gonna go to work. just a little short on it. And what about the effort from Henry? And there was a timeout call. And they're going to give the timeout. I believe that is the right call. As Henry took a shot to the head, it looks like, as he landed, soaring in there. What an effort. What a warrior.
Yeah, seriously. I mean.
But I think that's the right call. You saw the missed shot.
I think so, too.
Henry comes baseline, soars in, grabs the shot, comes down with it. There's Gunn in his face, and you saw Paulino, before Gunn got his hands in there for a jump ball, call for the timeout. And, hey, you know what? That's the experience coming from this team for sure, as Kean Price, the senior, out on the court. Of course, Paulino, the senior, Henry, the junior, Jackson, the junior. You got to have that experience in these moments.
Kyrie Henry on that play. I mean, is there anything else you can say? The amount of players that are willing to put their life on the line for that. I mean, listen, Mario Gunn is a big dude, and that's got to be scary for not as big as of a dude as Kyrie Henry, and he just like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
Well, him and Kieran Flanagan, you know, I'm sure if you trace the roots back, they might be brothers, because the way that they play the game of basketball, 3 and D, making plays, willing to go all out, and most importantly, you could call them giant slayers, because they will go at centers all day and win the battle.
You love to see it. I love it. I love it. They play with their heart on their sleeve.
Flanagan over with Paulino, missing the shot. That's going to put Kean on the fast break here. Alicia leaving it short. And that's interesting, because they have 10 fast break points to Montclair 0. And looked like things was going to change, but Kean Price getting the swipe on him. He's going to head to the line, Vin.
Kean Price looked like I didn't see the touch, but you could feel it, because how Kean went up with the ball, it kind of juggled out of his hands, which is something that we usually don't see, and obviously it might have been just a one-time thing.
Definitely saw some contact on him. He makes the first one.
I know that Kean Price is up there in free throw percentage in the NJAC. He missed 2 big free throws in that double overtime game. He could have ended it with regulation. He struggled again in that first overtime. But when
made up for it, right?
When push comes to shove, I mean, Kean Price is the guy I want on my team every single day of the week.
Well, Vin, since I got here, we've been calling him the general. But I'll tell you right now, a 3-ball coming, that's no good, and what effort coming in. We're going to check in with the NJAC right now. Matt, what do you got for us, buddy, around the league?
Just looking around, TCJ currently leads Ramapo 64-58. That's a good game to keep an eye on to see who will take on Rowan in the next round. Winner of this game, let's go to Stockton as we get down just over 9 minutes to go here in the second half.
Thanks, Matt. We'll see as things develop. Price getting that shot off. The ball bouncing all over. And it's going to be Gunn who has the foul going against him. And that's going to be on Paulino.
Oh, okay.
And Saren going to check in.
And Paulino's going to check out. That's now his 3rd foul. Not a comfortable spot to be, but when Kunga's performing, I'm not too worried about it. He leads the team right now with 15 points. Off the bench, by the way.
Big fella having big impact. We'll see what he brings in this final 8:54. Here's Stith driving in. Was thinking about that layup, maybe a collision. Alicia down. And looks like a collision of knees, as that was a wide open shot in the corner that was missed. As I believe Alicia gonna be okay, thankfully. Him and Price just getting mixed up with a meeting of the knees.
Yeah, I mean, in a situation like that, you never know what happened, but knees colliding. That's incredibly painful.
Well, if you see Price, he's got some good combat gear on,
Yeah,
but no knee pads.
no knee pads. You want to know what maybe takes away from the drip.
Always got to be stylish. And a kick ball coming from Morton. And you'll live with that one because Kungasering was heating up the engines for another takeoff.
Kungasering was ready to put this one away with still 8 minutes on the clock.
A dunk like that could drain the energy out of the opposing team.
It could break the backboard.
Price with the screen. Saren would have been open if he would have went to it. Flanagan back out with Henry. 8 seconds to work with, driving in. And that's going to be a foul against Daniels as the arm comes across the face. And they're going to get Henry on that one. As Henry now heading to the line. First one is good, and the automatopoeia from the Cougar fans, not enough to shake Henry.
Nope. Listen, Cougars may be here, but it's still the Red Hawks' nest.
It's not the Cougar Den, that's for sure.
No.
As that one rolls in.
Friendly roll right there, for sure.
And now you see Mario Gunn taking it on Sering. Nice move. As all the way and one. Oh my. Mario Gunn.
Montclair to San Francisco on that one, just a coast-to-coast play. And I've seen Mario Gunn make some playmaking appearances tonight, but that was definitely the best of all of them.
235 pounds, 6'5" out of East Orange. The fifth-year center. That is a grown man basket.
Kungasering is a big guy, but he's... And still Kyrie Henry's getting in there.
His gun misses the and one opportunity. Still a 4-point game. Now just under 8 minutes, Mike Jackson.
Ooh.
No good. Morton coming up in and out on the dribble, and he nails it.
That's a good play.
And that's going to put him at 11. Price showing off the tough angles as he attacks left but finishes right.
Listen, I've had conversations with WMSC's Khalil Calloway. We always say, when he wants to get hot, he can get hot.
I'll tell you, since I've been here, I've been calling him the general. Whether that's cut on or not, I don't care because nobody directs traffic as good as Keon Price. And Kungasering coming away with the steal. Keon Price, diving effort, gets the ball, gets the timeout in there. Looked like he took a little contact to the eyes, but no foul.
That was definitely a slap right across the face on Keon. Listen, Keon Price, number one on the court, definitely number one in Montclair State's heart. He is able to make it every single time, and he is a fun player to watch. You're right for calling him the Sarge. He does it or the general.
The general.
I apologize.
The general. Always business, always in the right place, always has a plan.
Well, I like to call him the bank because, well, the price is right.
He's both.
He's
both.
He's both.
However, I was here first.
You were here first for a very long time.
Yeah, good one. Well, you know what? You'll be carrying the torch for the next 2 years here at the Red Hawk Sports Network. 7 minutes, and Vin, it's starting to set in a little bit.
It is
Our
starting
last
to set in.
call here.
You want to know, I got to be honest, though, it might be setting in for us. I hope it's not setting in for them because we know how much can change in 7 minutes of awesome basketball action. These guys know. They know this is their last time here for a year, and they want to make it count. And I don't blame them whatsoever.
Well, regardless of the outcome, we're going to have to wait
Yeah, seriously.
Until basketball season to get basketball back at Panzer. You know, I just want to say thank you to the men's and women's basketball team for providing the memories, the enjoyment. As regardless, this is it for me, buddy.
Yeah, you'll be missed all around Montclair State campus, but especially here at the Red Hawk Sports Network, Maz. You and Matt Boucher, two incredibly big parts of our team. We always love to have you, and it's sad to see you guys go. Oh, well.
Thanks, buddy. We still got 7 minutes and 8 seconds left in this job. It's a 4-point game, 70-66, and here comes Kean Price with Mike Jackson. Jackson switching on to 3 different defenders, tries the reverse, and that's the big fella, Mario Gunn, coming down with it.
Yeah, Kulu got a hand on that one, but Mario Gunn's able to take it down.
And now here's going to be Stith with the crossover. That one poked.
And that was a good move by
Price.
Stith. He could obviously.
Morton 3 off left.
That was a good move by Stith. I mean, he read that Flanagan was going a little bit to his right, immediately went left.
Flanagan trying to get Mike Jackson in. Price gonna come down the runway. Thought about Sering, gonna go with the safer option, seeing Gunn lurking. Henry, 6 seconds to work with. Flanagan gonna float it up in the toughest angle you will ever see for a bank shot on the running floater. You gotta be just ridiculous.
As clean as a new car. Wow. And
That was squeaky clean like a fresh pair of J's.
We've seen they run this play a lot, and Khalil Callaway once again got the chance to talk to Amir Williams, and he said to me that they try that play a lot in practice.
As Henry gets that one blocked, and they're gonna call that one a goaltend. And I said, oh no. Thankfully, he's up because J.D. Daniels just kind of dropped on that offensive play. But thankfully, he's up and moving.
Although he does look like he's a little bit putting more pressure on his right foot than left.
But hey, Kane's got some warriors themselves. He's going to stay out there. And the full court press here from Jackson and Henry.
And, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit. Coach Potts has said, yes, Mike Jack has been upgrading a lot, but I want him to work more on defense. And that's the exact point that he's trying to say.
Oh, and that's great rotations as Daniels further showing off that he's okay as he comes slashing in to receive that assist for the layup. Sering.
He's been trying to trip Gunn all night long. It's only worked maybe once or twice.
Well, you know what? He's made that 3. Look at the double, and that's what I'm talking about. That is Marine-esque strategy coming from Price. Just fabulous.
He's got eyes in the back of his head. He sees the entire court.
And speaking of eyes in the back of the head, Sering just putting the arm up, gets the tip. And here's Flanagan going baseline, dumping it off, sharing the wealth. Finished by Henry.
Wow. This team is so much fun to watch. They've taken the momentum that they lost a little bit in the start of this half, and they have brought it right back. And they put it in high gear this time.
You heard Coach Harvey at halftime talking about getting everybody involved, and it's definitely been a group effort here for the Red Hawks. Stith coming in, and what a reverse. I mean, that Euro, it doesn't take you, you know, from London to Rome. But I'll tell you, going from Paris to Barcelona is still pretty good.
Some Europe.
It's a quick little one, you know, quick little steps getting in there.
A nice little day trip if you really wanted to.
For sure, you know. But you got to give it to him. That's a great finish. And right on cue.
Yeah,
You
absolutely. Listen, it's an 8-point game right now. This has been an exciting one. I don't think anyone wrote this up in the script. It's been an exciting game. You can imagine the entire Red Hawk squad, including Coach Potts, have felt the need of or the need to win this one, not just because of NJAC playoffs, but they lost to Kean in their last matchup. They dominated in that first game, but this second game just wasn't theirs to win whatsoever. But Kean, I mean, on Kean's side, there's been spurts of greatness that they've been able to stop from the Red Hawks. I mean, we saw that first run, they were able to narrow it down. In fact, they were able to tie it. In fact, they were able to take the lead. But Montclair, they keep rolling. They're not working with square wheels. They're working with circles because they just keep it going.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you, 10 different scorers for the Red Hawks in this one compared to the Cougars 6. So, strength in numbers, my friend.
When Coach Harvey knows ball, and when she says everyone needs to get involved, that's the definition of it. 11 players have hit the court, 10 have scored. Everyone has played a huge part in this one. One stat or another.
And now you hear Panzer getting loud.
Not to mention, they've gone up a little bit in turnovers. They right now have 15. But Kean, they've kept strong, only 12 turnovers.
Notice the points in the paint, 42 for Montclair, 36 to Kean. Flanagan almost getting trapped, but somehow gets out of it. Great concentration. And here's Price. Jackson up with Sering. There was a cut. He missed the first one, but he nails the second one. Gunn gets hit on the foul, and Price is cashing in at the line.
Number 1 on the court, number 1 in Montclair State's heart, taking them to the next round potentially, and he's doing it. He's putting this team on his back.
And how about just the smarts you see? Mike Jackson hitting the cut, Sering wanting to get it over to him just a second late, but Price following a couple of feet behind, creating that double option lane for him, and Sering nails it on that one.
Montclair, the Hawks, the Red Hawks, are red hot right now. They keep it rolling.
As that one is going to be off of Flanagan. And Stith having a conversation with the ref.
He's had a couple conversations with the ref today about some plays, but that one right there, that's a no question. Ooh.
And here you see the full court press once more. Nice pass over the top. Alicia to Morton, and Morton drawing the foul. And I think they're going to get Sering on that one.
Sering right now leads the team with 17 points.
Oh, my apologies. They're actually going to get Mike Jackson coming in on the help defense on his second foul.
It'll only be a second.
Which, if you're the Red Hawks, you want that, you know?
Yeah.
Because Sering's going to be absorbing a lot of contact in this final 3:27.
And, Paulino is sitting at 3 fouls. I'm not bringing it back in until at least the 2-minute mark.
And that one misses. Flanagan on top of it in 3:25.
Oh.
And Sering makes the most of it. On the trail, getting that one to fall. Cougars trying to pick up the speed, and that one is swatted into the Cougar bench, and Sering can do nothing but smile as he gets some dap from his teammates.
Sending that one cross court. Ooh.
Looking like the U.S. volleyball squad at the Olympics, because that, my friend, was a spike. Alicia trying the Euro, no good, but it's going to be Stith for the layup. 3:02.
Stith is, it's starting Ethan Stith just struggling right now to keep his emotions in, which is, it's something. Basketball is a very adrenaline pumping game, not a spot you want to be in, and now coach is getting into it.
As the full court press from the Cougars of their own, getting break. Henry into the paint, and he slips, and that's going to be a travel. And he was looking for options, just gets a little steamy in here.
Absolutely.
Couldn't keep the footing.
Listen, out of every single sport out there, basketball, it gets your adrenaline pumping more than anything. friends before the game, enemies after.
Quick sprints back and forth. I mean, of course, you got conditioning in soccer, the grinding of football, lacrosse, all of them, but it's a short burst every time. That missed shot, no good. But Alicia there to fight to the line.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give that one to Alicia. He made it a tough shot, and he kind of pushed himself into Flanagan, drawing the foul. And, I mean, in the NBA, you obviously don't like the idea of drawing a foul, but in a close game like this, drawing the foul is the best idea you can, especially in the position that he was in on the basket.
Alicia misses the shot.
He's 12th in the NJAC, which might sound a little low, but, I mean, out of the insane NJAC teams and the insane NJAC players, 12th in
And
scoring.
he misses a second one to clean up. No good. As that's going to be Mike Jackson coming away with it. And here's Price. And Sering calling for him to come his way. Ready to set the screen and open some things up. 2-12. Price taking it. Pumping the brakes. Over to Sering. Sering down low, taking it. Wanting the foul, but gets the finish.
Sering. Ooh.
19 leading both squads. And Flanagan with some perfect positioning to swipe that one away. And that's what it's all about.
I apologize. He's at 21 now. 21. This is the first time that Sering has reached that 21 mark since the second game of the season.
All about the depth, all about coming alive. Stith on the charge, bumping into Price. And how about the charge takes here?
I see it. I see it. Look at that right there on our screen. The little smirk from Kean Price. He knows what he's doing. He's playing ball.
Flanagan over with Price. All things considered, 125. Montclair in a very good position to see this one through.
Almost a minute left on the clock.
Look at the pass down low to Price, to Flanagan from Price. Flanagan gonna dribble out, gets it over, and right before the buzzer, Price nails it, no emotion, comes right back on defense.
Price is buying this house right now. Whoa.
And that's gonna be a reach in on Sering, 59.1.
And you want to know what Mike Jack kind of paused in Sering there, saying, hey, listen, you got to calm down. You need to calm down. We're hype, but don't let that adrenaline get to your head. Don't start fouling people because we need you. We need that big man.
So now Morton at the line, looking to cut into this one. Time of the essence. He makes the first one. They are going to need some luck and some tremendous effort on their side here in this final minute of play if the Cougars want to keep their hopes alive. Second one, no good. Henry coming down with it. Flanagan getting the outlet pass and the foul coming. And that's going to be on Alicia. 50.3.
With a 12-point lead.
Montclair looking to book a date down in Stockton.
I mean,
Last year it was NJCU. This year looks like Kean. But a similar road as they look to continue the run for title number 4.
Yeah, I mean, hey, why not? I was born in 2003. Now I'm here. Make it number 2. Oh,
And no good there from Price. Stith. Oh, Henry had the ball in his hands, but they're calling a foul.
I like the aggressiveness. I like it. It maybe not the smartest idea because there's 43 seconds left and
Well,
you
you know what?
have a 13-point lead.
They play that pot press defense. We were at practice. You saw the coaches in on the drills, running the court with them, and the focus was defense, defense, and one more thing. I'm sure you could guess it. That was defense.
Absolutely. And you want to know what? They do fives. In practice, they do 5-on-5, and one team is just filled with coaches. They don't go easy on them. They might play actually a little bit harder.
Gonna get your guys, forged by fire. Iron sharpen iron. And that should do it with 25 seconds. 88-75. A nice lead here for the Red Hawks. A 13-point lead. The turnover. Alicia taking it, cutting into it. But with 11 seconds, that should do it.
Now they're sending them to the line.
7.9. Free throws considered.
You want to know what? Let Kean take some more. I love that kid.
Yeah, Keon Price, definitely the man, My first interview here for the Red Hawk Sports Network. And what's it called? I had the pleasure of talking with our football coach, Coach Palazzo and Agent Zero Mike Ramos. My second interview that same day. My better of the two interviews. I had a rough time getting a little shook. They switched up the schedule on me, but that's another thing. Was with Coach Potts at Keon Price, and I haven't looked back since. The support here from this campus, this squad, has been absolutely phenomenal. Morton throwing that one up, and that is it. Montclair State, even though you count that last bucket from J.D. Daniels before the buzzer, that is it. Montclair State taking over and heading to it. I'll tell you, what an effort. We got some highlights for you. Unbelievable. 90-79, the final score.
Listen, congratulations not only to Montclair, but to Kean seriously. They might have finished the season with a 12-13 record, but they played insanely today. Great job. Great job.
Just absolutely wild. And rumor down the pipeline is we're going to get the big fella, Kunga Sering, on the interview post-game here.
Oh, we can see Coach Potts right now with his two kids. You got to celebrate. Listen, it's all fun and games. The job is the job, but it's all about that right there. The nice hugs, the family, the love. And that's what, Coach Potts has not just this Montclair State family, but a literal family. And you got to love it everywhere. Samar Abdullah, you can see the picture getting ready by our Matt DeLuca, who's an insane photographer. Definitely see this one on the gram in a little bit. Gotta love it. Look at this. This team, going into winter break, we didn't know if they were going to make the playoffs. They
turned it around. They kicked it up into high gear. They kept the standards.
You gotta love this team. And now going over, see Matt Bruchet getting ready. Kyrie Henry dabbing him up. You gotta love Kyrie Henry. This kid, he plays with a smile on his face 24/7. The love that he has, it's just a fun time. And we see Kunga going over now. Kunga Sering.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to head on over for that interview real quick. We got Matt Bruchet with Kunga Sering. Matt, take it away, buddy.
And you played even better. 21 points. You guys won 90-79. Kean came out strong in the second half. What? Kean came out strong in the second half with a big run. What was Coach Potts telling you guys at halftime to spark the energy in the second half?
Pretty much. At the beginning of the game, he said a meaningful word called family. Not many teams have that, and the first half we didn't prove we had a family in us. until the second half. He came into the locker room and said, we started off the half with this, we got to end with this, and we got to show it. So we came out the second half. They might have had a fast, 8-point run, but as a family, we came together, and we just stuck it out to the end.
And for you, you had 21 points on 80% shooting, and you were incredible defensively, 2 blocks, 2 steals. What made you so effective tonight?
I don't know. I just did my thing. And then just really worked today. I got a good warm-up, got a good breakfast. Yes, got a good breakfast. Big on the 2 hash browns and the McGriddle. But yeah, just came here, warmed up, got my shots up, came game ready this time.
And the leadership by Keon Price, Kieran Flanagan, how did they help the guys rally together defensively?
Most of the times when we had a timeout or a dead ball, they would group everyone together, tell we got to keep it together, we got to rotate right, and we got to take care of the ball. First half we had 12 turnovers. I don't know how many we had the second half, but I know we had a lot less. But we just needed to take care of the ball, and they, as the captains of the team and as our main ball handlers, they got the job done.
And heading on to round 2, what's going to be the most important takeaway going into Stockton?
Play our game, beat Montclair State. That's it.
Awesome. Well, great win today, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Maz, Vincent, back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. And shout out Kunga. What an impressive performance. 80% from the field. The big fella. It's what it's all about, Vin.
Yeah, I mean, his second 20-point performance as a Red Hawk, and he insane. There's a lot of players that we could have picked, but no one better than Cougar. I mean, the family, the emotional talk. I mean, I was getting a little emotional over here. You feel that Red Hawk love. Coach Potts going in the locker room talking about family. I love that.
Well, you know what? If you ever make it to a Red Hawk practice, you don't even need to. But on the practice jerseys, you see habits right where the name's supposed to be, right? Their warm-ups, it says habits right across the chest in those black and white fire habits. And I'll tell you, first the saying from Coach Potts is, first you make your habits, then your habits make you. And habits is an acronym. It stands for heart, appreciation, brotherhood, invest, toughness, and maybe the most important one, and the one that they showed here, sacrifice. Getting after it, playing as a squad. What a unit. They will be heading down to Stockton. What a game it's been. What a season. But it's just getting going here as the chase for 4 and, of course, trying to get into that D3 tournament and get that coveted title. We'll see what happens. We want to thank all of you for coming out here from the Red Hawk Sports Network, from our crew. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. He's Vincent Pacone. I'm Brandon Morazzo, and we'll see you next time.
Adios.